One of them is to help the people who work for you with their emotions and feelings. But the other one that actually comes first is being aware of and managing your own. And that's a really difficult challenge, to be calming, to be reassuring, to be optimistic for your team when you are not feeling calm, reassuring, and optimistic. And how do you do that without being completely fake and phony? So that's the balance that you're striving for. It reminds me very much of, I have 3 sons, and when they were 3 little boys running around the house, I would find that my mood would determine the mood of the household. That if I was stressed or tensed or irritable, the kids would go bananas. And I would think if they would just be calm, I would be calm. But they never did. And it was up to me to be self-aware and to lower the temperature so that the kids would calm down too. And I'm not suggesting your team members are your children, but in some ways there's a dynamic that's not so different from that sometimes. So managing your own emotions, knowing your own triggers. What is it that causes you to overreact? And how can you be mindful of when that might be happening? Acknowledging your own mistakes when you do overreact, or when you take something the wrong way, or when you come across more intense than you meant to. Acknowledging that certainly to yourself, but also perhaps if you were involved with somebody else, saying to them, yikes, I think I just went over the top there. I'm sorry. Something pushed, that word pushed my buttons, it's not about you, that kind of thing, to help manage that in a relationship. So managing yourself is step 1. You need to be willing to show your humanity. So while I was talking a minute ago about putting on a good face sometimes, even when you don't feel like that, which is part of leadership, there's also another part of admitting when you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed or exhausted or unsure about what's going to happen next. Now, when you're in a leadership role, you need to be a little careful about that. And the more senior you are, the more careful you need to be. I mean, I know of experiences where the CEO of a company expressed some anxiety and the share price plummeted, right? When you are a senior leader, you're a public figure, and what you say can have ramifications. So you need to be a little careful. But admitting to your team members or to peers that, yeah, you're struggling too sometimes is another way of building that connection. And you can normalize people's reactions by sharing some of your own. I'll give you an example. My clients are mostly senior executives, very high energy, very hardworking, driven people. And I cannot tell you how many people have said to me, I don't know what's the matter with me. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm ready to quit. I'm done for the day at 3 in the afternoon. And the first time I heard it, my immediate reaction was, you too? Because I'm like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't want to work anymore. 3 o'clock is when we're going to be ending. And I have more work I have to do after that. And I don't want to do that work. I want to be done when I'm done with you guys. So that 3 o'clock slump is very common. And if the people who work with you are experiencing that kind of fatigue that they don't normally experience, and you share, oh yeah, I get it, and then you can brainstorm around ways that you manage that, whether it's I take a break for 15 minutes or half an hour at 3 o'clock, or I drink a cup of tea, or I look at something funny on the internet for a few minutes.